Now discuss Desai-Liaquat Pact. Okay, efforts continue to end the deadlock. Okay, Bhulabhai Desai, leader of the Congress Party in the Central Legislative Assembly, made Liaquat Ali Khan deputy leader of the Muslim League in that assembly, and both of them come up with the draft proposal for the formation of the interim government at the center, consisting of unequal members of the persons nominated by the Congress and the League in the central legislatures. 20% reserved seats for minorities. No settlements could be reached between the Congress and the Leagues on these lines, but this the fact that a sort of the party parity between the Congress and the League was decided upon had far-reaching consequences. So here we have a plan. Although the war in Europe come to an end in May 1945, the Japanese threat still remained. The Conservative government in Britain was led by Churchill. Churchill was keen to reach a solution on the constitutional question in India. The Viceroy Lord Wavell was permitted to start negotiation with Indian leaders. Congress leaders were released from jail in June 1945. Why the government was keen on a solution? Now the general elections in England was scheduled for May 1945. The Conservative wanted to be seen and sincere on reaching a solution. There was pressure from the allies to seek further India cooperation in the world. The government wanted to divert Indian energies into channels more profitable for the British. The idea was reconstruct the Governor General's Executive Council pending the preparation of a new constitution. For this purpose, a conference was convened by the Viceroy Lord Wavell at Simla in June 1945. The main purpose of the Wavell plan were as follows: with the exception of the Governor General, and the Commander-in-Chief, all members of the Executive Council were to be Indians. The caste Hindus and Muslims were to have equal representations. The Reconstructive Council was to function as an interim government within the framework of the 1935 Act that is not responsible for the Central Assembly. The Governor General was to exercise his veto on the advice of the ministers. Representatives of different parties were to submit a joint list to the Viceroy for nominees to the Executive Council if a joint list was not possible. So then the separate list were to be submitted. Okay, so possibilities were to be kept open for negotiation on the new constitution. Once the war was finally won, Muslim League stand. The League wanted all Muslim members to be League nominees because it feared that since the aims of some other minorities, different classes, Sikhs, Christians, etc., were the same as those of the Congress. Okay, this arrangement would reduce the league to a one-third majority. Webel wanted Khajar Haid Khan of the Muslim as the Muslim representatives on Western Punjab. The League claimed that some kind of veto of the council with the decisions opposed the Muslim, leading to a two-third majority for approval. The Congress objected to the plan as an attempt to reduce the Congress to the status of the purely caste Hindu party, and insisted on the right to include the members of all communities. Strong its nominees. Webel's mistake. Webel announced a breakdown of talks, thus giving the League a virtual veto. This strengthened the League's position as was evident from the elections in 1946 to 45 to 46, and boosted India's position and exposed the real character of the conservative government of Churchill, the Indian National Army, and Subhash Chandra Bose. Okay, next to discuss it is okay. Now start. The Indian National Army and Subhash Chandra Bose was an interpret man. He had always shown the militant speak and reacted violently in any result of Indians by the Europeans. He passed the Indian Civil Services examination, securing fourth position, but resigning from the services in 1921 to join the struggle for freedom by becoming a member of the Congress. His political guru was Chittaranjan Das. He became mayor of Calcutta in 1923. He was jailed many times by the British. Once it became clear to Subhash Chandra Bose that he could not follow Gandhi's way, but that the Congress was determined to follow Gandhi, Bose decided to go his own way to fight for independence. In March 1940, Bose convened at an anti-compromise conference at Ramgarh. He was a joint effort for the Forward Bloc and the Kisan Sabha. He was resolved at the conference that a worldwide struggle should be launched on April 6, the first day of the National Week, with a call to the people not to help the imperialist war and with any man, money, or materials. He called for resistance to be offered to all forms of exploitations of Indian resources used for the imperial cause. There was enthusiastic participation by the people and the struggle launched on April 6. Bose was arrested in July when he protested and tried to launch a satyagraha against a proposed movement for Holwell in Calcutta. He was released from prison and placed under the house arrest in December 1940 after hunger strike in January 1941. He was reported that Bose had escaped on January 26, 1941. He raised Peshawar under the pseudo name Ziauddin, helped by Bhagat Ram. Later it was heard that he had left India to supplement from outside the struggle going on at home. He was reported to have approached Russia from help in the Indian struggle for freedom from the Britain, but in June 1941 Russia joined the Allies in the war, which disappointed Bose. He then went to Germany. Bose met Hitler under the pseudo name Orlando Majota. With the help of Hitler, the Freedom Army Mukti Sena was formed, which consisted of all the prisoners of war of Indian origin captured by Germany and Italy. Dresden, Germany was made the office of the Freedom Army. Both came to be called Netaji by the people of Germany. He gave the famous slogan "Joy Hind." From the Free India Center, Germany. He began regular broadcast from a British Berlin radio in January 1942, which enthused Indians. In 1943, he left Germany and traveled by German and later by Japanese submarines to reach Japan and then Singapore. In July of the same year, he was to take over the command of the Indian independence movement from Raspberry Bose, but that was the second phase of the Indian National Army, origin and first phase of the Indian National Army. The idea of creating an army out of the Indian prisoners of war was originally that of the Mohan Singh, an Indian army officer who had decided not to join the retreating. So next we discuss origin and first phase of the Indian National Army next time. So thank you.